To unlock the 7, 8, and 9 levels of the Marching Pikmin, we have the Snow Bulborb, which looks like a miniature hairy Bulborb without hair. And a lot of these missions now are pretty challenging, and I had to do multiple attempts before actually solving them. So the beginning of this one is you have to get all the yellow Pikmin out of this area without going into one of the red candy pop buds. So they use the rocks, which the ones that have numbers, you can only have a limited number of times that you can actually hit them. And the black spaces, the Pikmin will fall into the pit, and the Bulborb will eat your Pikmin. So that's how you get past that part. And then work the yellow Pikmin over there. Get them kind of split up. And I found the easiest ways to get one Pikmin over in that area. And then this next part of the puzzle is all these red candy pop buds. So I'm using the one Pikmin to basically destroy all of those candy pop buds as much as I can. Yeah, and I do have to take care that the yellow Pikmin all the way to the left does not end up in that fire geyser. So that's why I moved them over there, so that I can go back up. And I'm thinking about, how do I get rid of the other ones, or do I even need to? Which I don't. So we'll get the yellow Pikmin to destroy that rock. And then I realized that if I keep going up, one of those Pikmin are going to end up in the pit. So I need to move him over. And now I should be able to go straight up and get the 4-leaf clover. And then I just need to repeat that for the next two of the Pikmin. You know, the same thing, I gotta use those 4 rocks over there when I move up and down. And then when you get to the last Pikmin, you just need to walk him over. And that's nice and easy. So that is level 7. I think it took me like 10 or 15 times to actually win that one. Then we go to level 8. And this one also is getting the 4-leaf clover. And this one wasn't as bad. I think it took me 3 or 4 times. And the trick in the beginning is to get all 3 of the yellow Pikmin over into the middle area. And by getting that first yellow Pikmin over to that area in the middle, there's lots of rocks on all 4 sides. So it makes it easy to move the other 2 that are stuck at the beginning. And as much as I can, I like to get them grouped up. I was thinking about getting the ones on the right, one on top of the other, but with the pit, that is not really possible. But I can get that second Pikmin over. And then we'll have the 2 Pikmin that are in the area that, you know, it's kind of surrounded by all 4 rocks, which should make it easy to get the third one over. And now I can start working my way over to the 4-leaf clover. Now, first by destroying these individual rocks, which isn't too much of a challenge. Yeah, once you figure out that you can keep those like the extra Pikmin in that central area, it's relatively easy. just need to avoid the fire geysers. And then I'm like, oh, I can't just keep going over. So I need to get them into a different alignment so he doesn't fall into the pit. And then we'll do the same thing for the next one. But it will be slightly easier because there's only one Pikmin in that middle area. And then the last one is just make sure we don't make any mistakes by accidentally hitting over, you know, one extra time and into the water. That was level 8. That one's pretty easy. Now we will go to number 9. Number 9, we're going for the rubber ducky. It looks like it's like an M-shaped world. This is one of the few levels that actually beat on the first try. And the key here is really just to go through the different waves of obstacles. So you start out with the water hazards, and then the fire hazards, and you just got to make sure that each Pikmin gets its candy pop bud as it progresses, you know, through the next set of obstacles. So we go through the water, the fire, and the electric, and then we are back to the water to get the ducky. This was probably the easiest of the Marching Pikmin games. Most of these have been a challenge. Now we'll need the next card. And it is the antenna beetle. So we go to level 10. And this one's a lot like the design of 9, in that you have the 3 Pikmin types, and then you need to go through each of the obstacles and then convert them to the new Pikmin type as needed. The only difference is that you have 2 of each type, and the obstacles are lined up, you know, horizontally, instead of them all being the same for each set. So it just kind of, I guess, challenge your brain a little bit, because you got to make sure, like, ooh, did they like throw in something where one of the Pikmin, you know, needs to do something different? But that's not how they designed it. So at the top, we'll need the blues to convert into the yellows. And the other trick is there's 2 candy pop buds right beside each other. So the first Pikmin has to go in, get converted to their new type, and then move down one so that the second Pikmin can use the second candy pop bud. And then they put in those rocks with 1 hit so that you can line your Pikmin up again. So they're all lined up vertically. And then the yellows and reds will all get a blue candy pop bud. And then we can walk them all into the rubber ducky. And I think I beat that one on the first try too. That was one of the easier ones. That's the end of number 10, and off to number 11. This one took me pretty many tries. Basically, you have you know, I guess like a vertical stack of Pikmin that are like 5 tall. And you have to get them into a 2 vertically high column. But it's very easy to get them to end up into the water. So it took a lot of trial and error to find the pattern that let me get the Pikmin to be into a, you know, a 2 high column. And it took a lot of thinking, which is why sometimes I pause like that. I was like, there, I'm pretty close. And then if I go down 1, then I have the column that's, you know, very wide, but only 2 high. And then it looks like we have like the fishing bobber, or whatever it's called. So, I was calculating as far as how many can I move over, because that rock can only take 2 hits. So if you destroy the rocks, then, you know, you might end up making the Pikmin go off into the water. It's all about getting the right counts. And we're still thinking about it. I'm thinking I should be able to go down 1 time. And then maybe move the Pikmin over. No, because I'll end up in the water. Yeah, an error. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Get them in a single line. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish that off. Once again, I'll just say, I love these games. It is something completely different, you know, as far as Pikmin goes. But the puzzles are neat, the puzzles are challenging. And, I mean, it's Pikmin themed. And I love the, I guess that'd be like the 16-bit artwork. And this one introduced a new element to it, and that is the purple candy pop bud. So when I saw that, I'm like, I had no idea what that actually did. But then I realized there's a ball board blocking the way. So it must mean that the purple Pikmin can actually defeat the ball board. So before, the ball board was an impossible task. Now I was trying to figure out, how do I get my Pikmin together so I can go on that 2 high vertical path. And then there we go, and it's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm spread apart too far. So I'll have to go there, so I'm, you know, too wide. And then I gotta get the purple Pikmin to be a blue Pikmin. And then I got kind of stumped here as far as, like, what pattern do I need them to be? And it should have been pretty obvious. But it took me a while. But once I figured it out, I was like, oh. Just need to get them like that. And then walk up diagonally. And get the fishing bob. And that is it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy seeing this rare Pikmin game.